Hi knitters, welcome to PJ Knits. My name's Penny, also known as PJ, and this is my knitting blog, podcast, journal, whatever. I live in Central Illinois, and I'm a knitter, a blogger, a YouTube podcaster, and an Instagrammer. And today is Monday, June 30th. We're on the downhill slide of the month. It is Monday, and so there is grass cutting going on as it happens. But anyway, we'll get through that. Weather report for Central Illinois today. It is sunny, a little breeze, but it's hot, and it's going to be 90 again. We've had 90s for the last 2 weeks-ish, more than 2 weeks. And so this is unusual. Generally, we get this starting out right about now and going through all of July. But upside, grass is still green. We may get a little bit of rain, but gosh, we haven't had any good rain soakers for a while. But so anyway, that's the Central Illinois weather. But anyway, you aren't here for all of that, and you're hopefully here for the knitting. Welcome or welcome back to this knitting podcast. Thank you, everyone, who has subscribed. We're eking towards 1,000 subscribers, which is super fun to think about. So we are building such a community, and I am so grateful for each and every one of you, and for you coming back and becoming friends. A lot of friends being built through this community. And I just wanted to do do a shout out to our Saturday night Zoom. My life between now and August, September, October is super busy, and some of it entails the weekends. And so have been unable for the last 2 weeks to do Zoom on Saturday night. First week I was I had my youngest grandson for the night. Last weekend, I was over in Iowa for a bridal shower. And this next weekend, I'm going back to Iowa on Saturday to celebrate my youngest and my oldest grandchildren's birthdays. And then I'll be back for a couple of Saturdays, I think. And then the Makers Meetup is at the end of July. And we and Kendra and everybody are super thrilled that that's coming. And for the outpouring of people who are coming, we're going to have at least 100 people. That I am sure of. So we're looking forward so much to that. So those are the things that are coming up. And then in August, end of August, my son is getting married. And then in September, I have some things coming up at the end of the month. And before we know it, it truly will be November. But anyway, getting back to Zoom, I just want to do a shout out to Marie on Saturday nights for hosting it every Saturday night when I'm not there. The Zooms continue even when I'm not there. Please join the group, and out there on Zoom, it's still happening, and it's a great group that we talk about knitting, we talk about books. We don't do religion or politics for the most part, but we things to watch, sales that are out and about, and knitting and whatever. So thank you, Marie, again. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you filling in every Saturday when I'm gone. So that's just a couple of things. I wanted to also say the last 2 winners of the Sandy bags, one of you have reached out to me, but not with your address. So if both of you, for the last 2 Sandy bag giveaways, would reach out to me via email's perfectly fine, pjknitspodcast@gmail.com, or any of the other links that will be down below. If you would send me your full name and address, I'd like to get those bags out to you, hopefully this week. So, and then I want to do the bag from last time, from all of your comments asking what your plans were for summer, and just things in general. Here is the bag, the summery bag. Shout out also to Sandy. Sandy is the best. She makes these bags for not all of the podcasts, but a lot of the podcasts she watches, and as giveaways, and they are truly just gifts of love, and I am so proud that I am able to have some, and that Sandy is my friend, and that she helps me get them out to each and every one of you. They're great bags. I have several that I have one of my own, and then I have a couple from some Makers Meetup prizes that I won. So thank you, Sandy. Thank you so much for donating these bags to all the podcasts. The time and the money that goes into it she's just amazing. Does not sell them, just does them for giveaways, and we're truly so appreciative. So anyway, here's the bag. I'll show you now. Has a lovely, this is the bottom, and on the inside, as always, has some real, I think, perfectly summery colors, and the zip pocket, and it's a substantial bag for your knitting. I take mine to my knitting on Tuesdays and Fridays and other places as well. So anyway, that's the bag that is going to go out to this week's winner, and it is, excuse me, to Kathleen Zeff. Congratulations, Kathleen. If you will send me your email, not your email, sorry. If you will send me your mailing address, I will get your bag out to you. I'm so pleased that you have won. Kathleen was planning on coming to the Makers Meetup, but she had some knee replacement, and we're sorry that she won't be there. But we're glad that you got a good knee, and that is most important, that you'll be back at it. Take it easy, do some knitting. I know you'll be doing all the therapy, and hopefully we'll see you next year at the Makers Meetup. And I also want to tell you that she finished her Vertices Unite. And so, yay, Kathleen. I'm so happy that you were the winner, and then just reach out to me and give me your information. So much appreciated for your comment and for tuning in. So let's talk about some knitting. We're going to start off with some sweaters from the Summer Vault. And the first one I want to show you is Edie. This is by Isabel Kramer, and the picture shows up much better than what you will see in my garment, just by way of what I knit it out of. Make sure you can see. If you can see, I'm going to try and get that texture in there. And you can make it longer sleeves if you want. I knit this in 2022. I did it in a size large on size 3 and 5s, and my yarn was a Euro yarn Belviso, and it was in the fingering weight. And I love this one. It has some cotton, the cotton in it. I had purchased it from my local yarn shop, but any kind of fingering weight you definitely could do. Now, again, from the pattern, I lengthened the sleeves because I always do that, you know. But here is the raglan piece of it, and it just has some simple garter on the end to finish it off. So there was no ribbing in it. As you can see, this is the back that I'm showing you here. Same thing around it. Just had couple of rows of garter edges. And then here is the V in the front. And I'll show this back. And here's my little ridges. You can see the lines in that, right? A nice V-neck. Also, again, as I said, the rib, just the simple garter. And then I lengthened mine a little bit. It has a great detail going down the side. Let's see, yeah, here we go. Oh, that's a good one. So it had a nice detail going down the side, and you can see the texture. And then at the bottom comes out and does a little bit of a flare at the sides. And all of the details are on my project page in Ravelry. And Ravelry, I'm PJKnits 1 to see the project. So it has a nice little end detail on the side. And then again, what she's done is that same garter at the bottom. So a really super fun knit. I love wearing it. I also lengthened mine because I have a certain length I like, but I liked that texture that was in there. So this is from the vault. Like I said, this is from 2022 that I knit it. And this was Edie by Isabel Kramer. That is the one that I want to show you. And then second up is the one that I am wearing. And this one I originally saw a couple of places. Years ago, I saw it at ZK, and then again, Corey came to Peoria to our local yarn shop, Fiber Universe, and did a Sunday where you could try on all of her sweaters. And she had this particular garment there. This is called Sugar Maple. It's by Karina Spencer. close there. And definitely has, this is everything that it looks like it has. It is off-centered, the off-centered V. On this one, I lengthened the sleeves just a little bit as well. This is a long one. I actually started in 2019 and knitted in 2021. And the thing that I remember about this was that a couple of things. It took me a while to really like it. I wasn't sure that I wanted to do it, and then that it looked good on me, so I didn't really pursue knitting it. But then I decided, what the heck? And so I bought the yarn at my local yarn shop in 2019. It is done out of Haiku by Scheepjes concentric cotton, and the colorways at the time were limited, so I went with the pink. And so I did work on this. And again, if you want the details, check out my PJKnits one Ravelry project page, because it gives all the information on it. Because I did do a little manipulation of the yarn to get it to end with the grays and then the white at the bottom. And in a minute, I'll stand up so you can actually see that. And same thing. So I did a little manipulation because I did not want a stark pink at the bottom when I was finishing up this. I love this sweater. I love wearing it. And so I'm going to show you just a couple. So it has a point in the front, off-centered, right? But in the back, it is a straight back, as you can see there. And I want to show you some pictures that I had seen in Ravelry that really kind of, at the time, solidified the fact that I could look good in this. I could wear this. And so I'll show you, this is on Corey and a couple of other ladies. And so it just solidified the fact that my shape could wear this. And again, this picture is out there on Ravelry. Different heights, different bodies, different lengths of the sleeves, for sure, and different ways of wearing it. And so that's when I decided that I could wear it. And my local yarn shop had this concentric by Haiku. Not everybody loves knitting on it because, and I do think it's discontinued. The yarn is discontinuing right now. But it was all in one ball. So I think I had 2 skeins tops. And they were all in one ball, and it was a gradient for sure. So I'm going to stand up here and try it and give you a good visual for what it looks like on my body. And you can see how it just went to the gradient, and then I finished up on a white. So we're just going to kind of turn it this way. And I'm going to step back. Try not to step on anything. So you can see how it is. It comes down off of the side. And did a little, for me, a little flare out, and there you go. And again, I ended with the gray. I wanted the gray. I didn't want the hot pink there, and it has a slightly grayed bottom on there. And I'm going to flip around just so you can kind of see the back. You know, I don't like doing that. I don't like showing you the back end, but I just love it. It is comfortable, it's cozy, and it's perfect for wearing right now. So that is Sugar Maple by Karina Spencer, and that is one of the sweaters out of the vault that I wanted to share with you today. Okay, so grab your knitting. I did not say that. Grab your knitting, grab a cuppa. Mine is, again, caramel macchiato with coconut creamer in it, and out of my Buc-ee's cup that I got in Alabama on our trip back from Destin and all of a sudden I'm like, you know, I have a lot of people who gift me mugs, and I have collected some, and then it was all of a sudden this trip I realized I didn't have a Florida one, got it. I didn't have a Buc-ee's one, we'd been there twice, and they actually had the mug, so super stoked about that. So grab your knitting, grab some coffee. Let's talk about finished objects. I have one that I want to share with you today. And here we go. This one I started, this is Musselburgh Number 7. I have completed 8 and I have a 9 in progress. I kind of reversed that. You know, I always have one in my seat in the car, and usually one here to knit on quickly. And so now I only have one other on the needles, but that's going to change in the next month or so. But anyway, here's Musselburgh number 7, and this one is for me. I started it back in March and finished it here in June, and here it is. This is part of an ensemble that I'm doing out of Emma's yarn. That was a gift. This is her Emma's yarn Crazy Beautiful Color, from her Hella Hank, and the Hella Hank has 600 yards. So I have knit a cowl and this, and then I still have some left for some mitts, and I'll talk about that in the next episode. But here is Musselburgh number 7. This one is for me. So I did do it in a size adult medium, and I used 96 grams on that one. And so it's part, like I said, it's part of an ensemble that I'm doing for me for this fall and winter. I love it. I love it. I love that it's done, and now that I can move on to others. But pretty cool. Loving that particular one. So that is my only finished object that I have for you this episode. And now for KORN, also known as knitting on right now, also known as a whips. I do love those little, where you take a phrase and you put it into a small word. And I thought KORN, KORN, is perfect for this right now. So I am being pretty rigid on my knitting that I am knitting on right now, for sure. Because I have a plan, and I've talked about that before. I have a knitting list. It fell down underneath there, and I'm trying really hard to keep to that list, partly because I have some time commitments and when I'd like to have some of those things done, and also to keep focus, I guess. And so I'm pretty rigid on my knitting. And when you podcast, if you're not a podcaster, not so much, but when you podcast, we want some sort of content. And now I know that it doesn't have to be in finished object, but we want to have something to talk about, or otherwise, it really doesn't make any sense for me to do it or you to listen. So I'm trying to be focused, I guess, which I easily can lose the focus for any of my knitting. But because there's some things that are coming up that I really want to have certain things done, I am trying hard to be focused on that. So anyway, I want to share my KORN with you. And first up is the 50/50 triangles wrap. This is one of many that I have knit, but I finally got the first half done and added the second section to it. And I'm just going to share. This is early morning and some porch knitting. And here's where I was last time. And here's where I have come. Now, this may not seem like a lot, but there are a lot of stitches to this. And so what I am at now, finally got to add my second color. This is out of Linen Quill. This is Kettle Black. And then I believe this is True Turquoise or Celadon. I can't remember. I'll know it next time when I get more info on it. But here's where I'm at right now. And I'm going to talk about this next episode because there's a method to why I'm using this colorway for here. Partly because I had other plans for this originally, put that aside, and then I had this left that I had bought also for other plans and decided that this would go perfect and this is going to be for me and for a future trip. So again, I'm going to talk more about this in the next episode when I have where I bring all of that stuff together to talk about. But I'm super glad that I am in that section now. It's short rows right now, but pretty soon it's going to be really long rows. So this is early morning and porch knitting whenever I can. And that one is a pretty old KORN, if I have to say. It's pretty old. It's been several years, but finally had a function that I wanted to have it done for in my brain. So Next up is my great nephew's blanket. He graduated this year, and we're having a party at the end, not the end, mid-August for him, a graduation party. He is going to St. John's in Minnesota, and so I wanted to do a blanket for him as part of his graduation gift. And in order to have this done in time for the party, I have to do 9 inches every Saturday or by the start of the next week. And I'm happy to report that I have that. This is Heavenly Heathers out of one of the Cascade 220 knit books, you know, that they have out there. And I am doing it out of Cascade 220. And so here is it so far with the first 2 weeks done. I'm super stoked that I got it that far. And this is holding 2 strands of Cascade 220 together on a size 11 needle, which I am using right now. So that's kind of the progress. These are mainly the school colors, and this is where I was last time. These are the mainly the school colors that I'm trying to emulate here on his thing, because he is hopeful to be playing baseball. One of the things I wanted to share with you, I have tried it, and I want to go back to trying it, but I think I need a longer cable, which I'm going to try doing that this afternoon. But I purchased from my local yarn shop these Knit Picks needles that are square. And they're supposed to be good ergonomically for your hands, because when I knit on this 2 strands of almost worsted weight together on a big size 11, you know, you can't do it for long periods of time. You have to take a break. And so I'm trying these out, but I did not find that they were helping so much. But I think it's because if I had just a little bit longer cable on it, then I wouldn't be pushing, it wouldn't be so scrunched up. So I'm going to see if I don't have one of those in my kit upstairs for Knit Picks needles. But I love the colors, and I hope that this will help with a big larger size needles. It's so funny because compared to my Chiagoos that I have on here, it doesn't really look the same, but they are. I put them through the needle gauge, and they are. So interesting. But I really want to give them a good college try for sure on that. But I think having a longer cable will help that. So that is what I'm calling Seth's blanket for now, for future KORN episodes, for sure. And then next up on the needles, which I'm having so much fun, and I want to encourage you all to go out and check out on Ravelry Cheryl Mokhtari's other patterns, because she has some wonderful patterns with textured in the sleeves, much like my amber that I'm going to show you. And I am knitting from the Laine Spring 2025, having a whole lot of fun with it. The Cheryl Mokhtari in amber, and here's what it looks like on her. Aha. Sorry. And so I urge you to check her out if you like this particular look. I love this one. I'm going to show you the back because it's so much easier to show you that for now. But here is the sleeve texture. And this is a fun knit. And so she has some pullovers, short sleeve, that are very similar to this. So check them out on Ravelry if you're not into doing, you know, some mohair and a fingering weight on here. And this is where I was last time we were on, right here. And so now I have added some length to mine, as I always do, and I'm on the rib. And this rib at the end culminates with an Italian bind off, which I've never done, and I'm going to try. But I'm having so much fun with this. I hope to get this, the rib done and onto the sleeves soon. But I'm using Scheepjes organic cotton on this, along with, let's just find it in the thing, Fyberspates Cumulus, which is an alpaca and silk. And right now I'm doing a size 4 and on a size 7 needle. I started out on a size 4 for the no, I'm sorry, started with a size 6 needle, and as I came down to the body, I went on to a size 7 to give myself a little bit more width on it. But I'm having so much fun with this, and if you like this look and you want to do some sort of tee, just a plain tee, please check her patterns out on Ravelry, Cheryl Makhtari. Now, also want to say that in in the next couple of days, all of the things that I talk about will be in the description box below. So you will see all that information, down there in the next couple of days for sure. Okay, so that is really that is almost all of my KORN to share with you. But what I want to say is a couple of things. We're going to move into mail call / what I'm knitting on right now. But first off, I am also knitting on, and I ordered this from, I didn't order this, I bought this last week at my local yarn shop, Fiber Universe, because I needed another Musselburgh to be on the go, sitting next to me in the car as I travel, or appointments or whatever. And so I have, excuse me, I have cast on, this is Musselburgh Number 9. And I am knitting it out of the Ultimate Sock by Malabrigo. And I cannot even tell you what the colorway is. It's 139 Pocion. Pocion? And I'm knitting these now. They're at the stage for most of them now are for charity or for not giveaways, but taking as gifts to functions, and if somebody wants one. And so I cast this on out of the yarn. I thought I have plenty. I have plenty of yarn, fingering weight yarns that I've earmarked for more Musselburghs, but they're all the aesthetic of brights or my colorways or other things that really weren't. Some of them are masculine, yeah, but not really. The bulk of them are not masculine. And so I wanted to get something that was a little bit more masculine, and that's why I chose this one. And where I sit on Tuesdays and Fridays on knitting, my eyes are directly across from the sock yarn spinner, and this one last couple of times has been sitting there looking at me next to some other kind of masculine ones. And so I decided then it was that was meant to be for sure. So this is number 9, and this will be probably a long-term project for right now because it will sit in the car. So I always have knitting there because I have no real plans to knit on another one right now. I have so much other knitting that's going on. But anyway, so that's kind of like mail call, also a KORN, but wanted to share that, and I'm loving that. I think it's great, a great masculine color, and also, and I said this before, I'm enamored with the Musselburgh. I love doing them, partly because I love knitting socks, I love wearing socks, but I love knitting on Musselburgh more. I have socks, but I just enjoy this a lot because it's something I can do around and around and around. And I have a lot of socks. I want more socks, but this seems to go much quicker for me than my socks do. So that is that. Then also, because I figure at some point in time I'm going to have Amber done pretty soon, and I want another project to knit at while I'm sitting at my local yarn shop on knitting. And this pattern just came out, and I saw it on Instagram. One of the gals that I follow on there had been knitting it, and this came out, and I have knit a Suvi Knits pattern before. Love her patterns. I've knit a couple of them actually, the ground pepper twice. And so this came out, pattern by Suvi Knits called Soft Focus Sweater. And the nice thing about it is the main yarn that she uses on this was a yarn that my local yarn shop carried. And so as a way of using the yarn that was actually in the pattern, which I am full-fledged into that right now, I went to her yarn basket that she had, and I you know, vacillated between a couple of different colorways, and then finally decided on going with, from Shop a Wool Edition 3, this is Rosetta. And then the sweater is carried with a strand of mohair. And so I have used mohair, this alpaca nylon before from Plymouth Yarn, Surrey Stratus. This is not the mohair that was in the pattern, but the edition 3 was. So I thought, well, I could easily do that. I'm trying to look here. She used Shop a Wool Edition 3, 2513 is what she did, and Lang Yarn's lace. And since my local yarn shop did not carry that, and I didn't want to have to go off and purchase the lace mohair, because I do, you know, for me, sometimes mohair is mohair or Surrey alpaca. So with the help of Erin at the local yarn shop, we floated several different mohairs to go with it, and I can't wait to swatch this and show you what it looks like. But this is going to be the 2 colorways that I'm going to be using for it. And let's just... So I'm super excited about that. This will be my next cast on for knitting in the yarn shop, for the local yarn shop. So that is so much fun. I'm excited. If you can't tell, I am, and you will notice in the next episode, definitely. But I'm really, with the exception of one sweater that that is on the needles right now that is really summery. That one's going to go, I think, going to be my knit while I'm knitting at the Makers Meetup. I'm really kind of done knitting on summer sweaters for myself because of commitments that I have going forward this fall, and I really want to be knitting on them. That will become evident in the next episode. But my last mail call purchase was from, again, a book that my local yarn shop just got in, and I've been eyeballing this out on the internet for some time. It is Finnish Knits. And oh my gosh, there is so many things I want to knit out of this. And I have to call out the cover sweater because this is going to be like a little knit along between three of us at the local yarn shop. Debbie and Pat, we both love this sweater, among others in here. And so we're all looking at this to knit. And we also, the other thing is, we are looking at buying the yarn from Finland to actually knit it. So we're kind of looking at the colors that we want to do. But I'm super excited about this as well. Oh my gosh. Look at this. And so we're all, I think, going to be choosing almost different colors. A couple of us are looking at the same one, but I'm not set on mine yet, for sure. The pattern, this particular pattern is called Ridge Forester. Oh my gosh, don't you just love it? It is done out of, and I don't know this yarn, it's SA with the 2 ampersands, is it? No. Something, the 2 dots overhead, SAIE, Merino DK, and Silk Mohair. And this yarn is only available from this SAIE wool in Finland. And so we're going to place an order, put the 3 together, and we're going to order the yarn for this because I think I'm kind of rubbing off on them, wanting to actually use the yarn that the designer actually used in the pattern. And I'm actually looking at this colorway because I just love it. I just love that. But I don't know yet. So still, that is in the thought process. This book is jam-packed with things. Again, this is one that Laine put out, but here's Vodka, which is a slip over. I could see this. Let's see, there are some, oh my gosh, colorwork socks if you're so inclined. I don't think I am, but there's a shawl in here. Usva. Oops, sorry. Oh my gosh. That one was by Vera Valimaki. Now, the one that everybody, the consensus in the shop at looking at that, they all love this sweater. This is a, this one is a hard no for me. I am not doing this. I don't like them, and I will not do them. But they all loved it. More power to them. That just shows the diversity, right? I'm not doing baubles. Sorry, not doing it. That's Nietos. Another cool sweater. There's possibilities. And then I want, here's another bauble one. Nope. This would make a nice Christmas sweater minus the baubles. Maybe just doing some color work there instead with red baubles. I think with red, not baubles, but just red color work, I think you could do that. There's some cool socks in here. Another sweater that I love. If you can't tell, I'm ready for fall. I'm ready for fall and winter knitting, and that's kind of sort of where my brain is going right now. Wow. I just so recommend this book, if nothing else. And I know that they're not cheap. I can't tell you how much it was because I don't remember, but you know, when there's that many things in a Laine special edition book, if there's that many things in there, I like that, and I really would like to knit on. I'm game. And this one I love, definitely on my list. This is out of Felted Tweed by Rowan and Mohair by Nurja. Nurja? Have not heard of that, but certainly I've used Felted Tweed before. And again, I love the colors that they've done it. This is Malva. I love that. I love that neckline. There's just so many things that I love in here. There's a short outfit that would be perfect, but Debbie's already knit those. Some cool socks, and you know, there's just a lot of things in here I'd like to knit. So I'm just, you know, I just wanted to call that out. This is my latest purchase, and this is a yarn that will be coming into PYS soon, and I'm anxious to knit on that. So you can see why my brain is already transitioning towards fall, because I have plenty of summer sweaters to wear. Certainly whatever you're knitting on for you is fine as well. I really was thinking about this morning, and one of the things that I was thinking about was I love the seasons in Illinois, right? I love our fall, and I love, you know, as much as I hate driving in snow or whatever, I do like winter for knitting sweaters. I like summer. I like summer on the beach. So I thought about this, and I thought in the pretty penny world, as it would be, the cool thing would be to live in, say, Australia or New Zealand right now. Be snowbird, but in the reverse. Like, I would love to be down there now knitting on all these woolly sweaters. And then when it gets hot there, I would like to go back and live maybe in Florida. But I also at the same time want to live in Illinois, where we have a season change, spring into fall, into winter. I love snow at Christmas time, so I'd be back at Christmas time. That's in the pretty penny world, you know, and if I had unlimited funds, which I don't, but that's okay. So just a little digression there, because I am going to start my winter knitting. But I still have some sweaters from the summer vault that I want to show you. I will still be wearing them on the podcast for sure. So anyway, I am super excited. I am super excited about what's coming up next in the podcast. I have a little special episode coming. I am super excited about celebrating birthdays this next weekend. I am super excited about the end of July. We are going to have at least 100 people at the Makers Meetup in Hoffman Estates. And we would love for you to come. It is going to be a weekend of knitting and making new friends and seeing things that people are knitting on, of shopping and just enjoying the heck out of it. Kendra and I are super excited about it, and we're hearing that everybody else is excited about it as well. So I hope that you are going to be one of those attendees. We will have some surprises, early on in the weekend. Not things going on, but just some fun stuff to play around with. We're going to have pictures of the clover tea taken, vertices unite, your turquoise and aqua, you can double dip there, projects, and just a whole lot of fun. We have several podcasters that attend, and so you'll get to meet them. And so we're looking forward to that and meeting up with all of them. And we'll have a listing of all the podcasters that will be attending at the show, at the retreat, at the meetup, get my words right. And just a weekend of fun knitting. And all you have to worry about is what you're going to knit on and what you're going to wear that day and what you're going to have for lunch, right? So anyway, we're looking forward to that. So hope to see you there in a few weeks, few short weeks. And for those who celebrate, this weekend is the 4th of July, Friday, so you'll have Friday off, I guess, as well. And some people even get Thursday off. I know back when I worked, it was our fiscal year end, and so would be happening today. And so we would be knee deep in all the things of clearing up the year end. But it used to be I would go to knitting camp right after the 4th of July. And, sadly, Meg's not doing that anymore. And I so miss that time with friends. But I'm going to see Linda, who attended a knitting camp. She's going to be at the Makers Meetup. So I'm looking forward to that, to giving her a big hug and seeing Linda as well at the meetup in a few short weeks. So if you celebrate, have a safe have a safe 4th of July. And I hope that you are knitting on whatever you want to and what you're having fun with. And so, again, thanks for spending time with me. I so appreciate it. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks, if not before. So until then, bye.